the NFC South, team number 4. Who do we think it is? It is the Atlanta Falcons with a record of 4-13. You guys hate the Falcons.
Dude, it's rough in Atlanta, man.
Yeah, Atlanta, it's going to be a long season.
Very long season.
This team will be a huge contender this season for the number 1 overall pick in the draft. They have Mariota to replace Ryan. Ridley is out this year, and Pitts may be their most offensive player this year if Drake London doesn't pan out the way they think he's going to. This just won't be a great football team. Pair that with a tough schedule. Falcon fans should not expect a lot from their team this year. You guys are definitely in a rebuild in the near future. Daniel, what do you think of the Atlanta Falcons this year?
I think they're in their rebuild now.
Yeah, since they trade all their players away, and
that's the NFL for you.
Steven, what you got on the Falcons?
I think they've been in a rebuild since they lost that Super Bowl. I mean, ever since then, it's just been downhill since.
How did that happen?
There's a video on YouTube that I watched once where it's a Atlanta fans' perspective of the Super Bowl, and they're at like a watch party.
Oh, you showed me this video. It was they were so happy for half the video.
And then it was just like everyone was so pissed at the end. They just cut the video off, no outro, no. It was
they were just like,
I just want to remind everyone that isn't aware of that Super Bowl. Tom Brady and the New England Patriots were down 28-3 in the Super Bowl.
In the third
with
quarter.
3 minutes and 12 seconds left in the third quarter. And the Falcons blew it.
In overtime.
They lost.
Their defense lost it for them, and their offense didn't really do much because the Patriots defense turned it up. I'm sorry, Falcon fans, but you're going to have to listen to 28-3 until you win the Super Bowl. So it's pretty crazy that we don't really want to talk about your team because they're so bad. So
good for Matt Ryan getting out.
Yeah, but good for Matt Ryan. Good for Matt Ryan coming to the Colts. It's going to lead us to a Super Bowl. Let's go.
Well, I don't know about that.
Hey, next team in the NFC South rankings here, we have the Carolina Panthers. That shouldn't surprise anybody. And their consensus ranking we have is 5-12. The Panthers are also headed for a horrible season as well this year. So I really want Baker Mayfield to start against the Browns. If they put Sam Darnold in, I'm going to be so sad.
I think he will.
I think they already named him the starter.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, they already named him?
I don't know if
didn't see that.
I don't think they've officially named him, but he was practicing as QB1.
Yeah, well, I want him to start against the Browns week 1.
Yeah, that would be great.
That will be must-watch TV. The Panthers just lost potential future QB Matt Corral in a preseason game with a torn ligament in his foot. I don't know if you guys saw that, but Matt Corral came out of Ole Miss, and he tore a ligament in his foot, and he's out for the season. So
how do you tear a ligament in your...
If the Panthers don't improve this year, I think Matt Rule gets fired. Remember last year when the Panthers started 3-0?
3-0, and then the Cowboys destroyed them.
Yeah,
and then that's
do you know what they finished as after they started 3-0?
Bad.
5-12.
Yeah, let's say 5-12.
5-12.
Jesus.
The rest of the year, they won 2 games.
They went 2-12
the rest of the games.
Did them in.
The Cowboys just demolished them. Also, you have one of the best running backs in the league, but he can't ever stay healthy. They can't rely on him all the time either. So that's probably why he's hurt. Like, he's the whole team right there. We will see what they do, but I have them going 4-13 on the season with the consensus rankings. What do you guys have on the Carolina Panthers?
I think they're going to be a little better than 4-13, personally. I mean, because they do open up with the Browns and the Giants. So that should be 2 wins right there. But then after that, it's Cardinals, Saints, 49ers, Rams, Buccaneers. So,
well, you guys are kind of, we'll talk about it later when we get to the NFC East, but you guys are down on the Browns and the Giants a lot. The Browns have a solid team. They're just missing a quarterback. The Giants are better. They're going to be better than they were last year. They're not going to be as terrible as I think you guys think they're going to be. So
I didn't say
will they? We'll get to that.
Well, you said they're going to play the Browns and the Giants and their wins. So, but they're not automatic wins.
That should still be,
I
mean, better than playing everybody else.
Better than those 2 teams still.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I do agree with you that they should.
I think Baker Mayfield is a much better quarterback than Sam Darnold is.
Yes, he is. He's a huge upgrade. And if the Panthers don't utilize Baker Mayfield, I don't know what you're doing. Like,
and then Christian McCaffrey should be back healthy. So, I mean, they should be fine starting off.
He's always fine to start the season. He starts off healthy. He just doesn't stay healthy. So
yeah,
we'll see if he plays the whole season.
I'm kind of taking it as Christian McCaffrey staying healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Panthers picked up some new offensive linemen. They picked up Austin Corbett from the championship LA Rams. They also picked up Ike Ekwonu out of NC State. Like I had mentioned in our very first video that we posted, ranking every team, I think Christian McCaffrey will have a lot more insurance in his offensive line. Having said that, it is still the NFL. It is still Smash Mouth football.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the Panthers will do better than what do we have them at 5-12
Yeah, you have them.
consensus.
We have
I
them at 4 and 13.
7-10.
You have them at
I
7 and
have
10.
I have him at 7-10 too.
I'm riding the Panthers pretty well, pretty high for being third place in your division. But having Baker Mayfield there, he's like we said, he's a QB1. They should be able to turn around a 5-12 season from last year. Hopefully they don't get demolished by one team and then just tank the rest of their season.
Yeah, that
They have
loss
a
to the Cowboys.
pretty doable schedule to get them to 7 wins. You got Cleveland at home, you got New York, Tampa. I have them taking a game from Tampa.
in Carolina.
Then they play. It's in Carolina.
Yeah.
Then they have to play Atlanta twice. Those are both wins in my opinion.
Mhm.
You get Seattle at home, or Seattle in Seattle, and then you play Detroit once. That's 7 wins right there for me. So I could see it happening.
Not out of the realm of possibilities.
Especially if CFC stays healthy. I mean, that should
That should be the key factor, just like every year.
Their two key cap factors are CMC staying healthy and Baker Mayfield's quarterback play. What's he going to do there? So we'll see what happens. But they do have some weapons there too. They have DJ Moore. They have some great weapons.
I think the pressure's going to be off Baker Mayfield because he's not with the Browns anymore. So he doesn't have to prove it to them that he was a quarterback. So now he can just relax and play football.
Well, we'll see what they do. Well, let's move on to the next team in our divisional ranking board. This is where it gets a little more spicy. Team number 2, we have the New Orleans Saints. Their consensus record we have for them is 9-8. In the offseason, the Saints went out and beefed up their O-line, and they added Chris Olave from Ohio State, who I think could be an immediate playmaker. He's a great wide receiver. They also added Jarvis Landry, and hopefully they have Jameis Winston to start the season, which they will. Hopefully Jameis can stay healthy throughout the season. Without Winston last year, the Saints offense really struggled. Their defense will be solid this year. No Sean Payton this year will be interesting too. I like them to surprise some people this year, which is why I have them 10-7. I could even see him winning this gosh dang division. So the Buccaneers aren't the same Buccaneers. We'll get to them next, but
the Saints, I have them at 10-7, so a little bit higher. Like Casey said earlier, that defense is going to be good, probably one of the best in the NFC. But that offense is a little questionable, but they did get a lot better. If Jameis can stay healthy this year, I mean, they should do really well. I mean, he was hurt last year. I mean, that's why the Saints didn't do well as they probably should have. But no Sean Payton, a new offense this year, so that might be a little bit questionable, but they should be at least decent, pushing for that playoff spot.
what do you got in the Saints, Daniel?
I actually marked why I have them at 9-8 here. It's because they have a tough schedule. Like Casey said, they added some big key players. You got the Honey Badger coming from Kansas City. Beef up the defense immediately. You pick up Jarvis Landry on offense. That's going to give you a veteran mentality there to fill in. Like Casey said, I could see the Saints taking the division this year. I mean, it's going to take a lot because, you have Tom Brady and the Bucks. But I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't either. I really like the Saints this year. Their over-under on wins is 8. Give me the over. I think they're going to win more than 8 wins.
Yeah.
I
think so too. Again, Jameis Winston is a lot better than a lot of people think, and he has improved every year that he has been in the league.
I think he's a solid quarterback. I think he's really, really good. He can play.
He was a little rough when he got into the league, but he has progressively gotten better every year.
He's matured a lot too.
He has matured a lot. Like I said, he got LASIK too, so he can see his receivers down the field now.
True. I want to see him eating W's this year.
But let's go to the final team here in our rankings for the NFC South. It should be no surprise to everybody that team number 1 we have is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The Tampa Bay
Buccaneers.
Tom Brady.
Yes, exactly.
You're so clever.
We have them going 11-6 as a consensus ranking. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. But
oh, God.
Tom Brady left in the offseason, got tired of his family, and then came right back.
And now he's back again.
Yeah, now he's back again. The real question about the Buccaneers this season is, will they get swept by the Saints? In the last 8 meetings between the Saints and Buccaneers, the Buccaneers have won 1 time.
Wow.
That 1 time was a playoff game, though. So the Buccaneers did get the better of them then. That's a mind-blowing stat for you guys.
That's pretty nuts.
With Tom Brady back, though, I think it makes the Buccaneers contenders. I don't think this Bucs team will be as great as the past few seasons, though. I do have them winning the division, but I really think the Saints this year can make some noise and surprise some people. That being said, Buccaneers open up against Dallas. Then they play the Saints. Then they're at Green Bay. And then in week 4, They go to Arrowhead Stadium to play Kansas City.
Nope, they're at home for that.
Oh, are they at home? Okay, they're at home.
They're at home for Green Bay and Kansas City.
It doesn't matter either way. That's a brutal start to start the season.
This Dallas game will tell a lot.
Well, not just the Dallas game. Those first 4 games could be their whole season right there. Like, you're going to see what you got in Tampa Bay real quick. So they got to play some smash mouth football quick.
Yeah, that opening schedule is going to be tough for them. That first game, Dallas should tell us a lot. Just because right now I think they're missing some offensive line personnel right now, and Tom Brady's also out for a bit.
Well, they traded Alex Kappa to, I think, Cincinnati. Yeah, so I mean, he's a big piece that they had last year that they're not going to have.
It should be interesting to see how they start off the season, because that'll tell us a lot about the rest of the season.
What you got, Daniel?
So when Tom Brady came back, I just want to let it be known that a lot of the people that were going to become free agents re-signed with the team. They got a lot of key re-signings in, especially in his cake of a center. That guy is
probably the best center in the league.
He's a great center, but he is a scrappy player. He's very much, if anybody watches the NBA nowadays, it's kind of rough, but Patrick Beverley, one of the most annoying, if not the most annoying NBA player. I like to compare him to him because he's very scrappy. Russell Gage in there. Gronk is gone, but Cameron Brate will make up for that. He already pretty much did last season because Gronk was hurt. And you got Tom Brady leading your team, so you can't count him out. If you try to bet against Tom Brady, it will bite you in the ass. I have experienced it firsthand. Don't ever do it.
Yeah, he doubts Tom Brady every year. He doubts him every year, and then he kicks his ass. So there you go.
It's like the Cowboys. It's like, this is our year. This is the year for Tom Brady to not win a Super Bowl, and then he goes and gets 7. So don't count him out.
Yeah, you can't ever count them out. I mean, this team's going to be solid. They're going to compete. It's going to be a great division to watch for 2 teams. I think the other 2 teams are going to kind of struggle.
Yeah.
But that's what we got there for the NFC South.